I'm Richard Lewis reporting for cadred.org, and with me is probably one of the most talked about League of Legends teams of the moment. It is Copenhagen Wolves, who are here at Copenhagen Games doing some promotional work, and I've got Godbro and Deficio to talk about their sudden upturn in the LCS. So I want to start at the beginning of what's been quite a positive turn of events for you all, and that is, of course, you went from having a terrible record in LCS, 0-9 I think it was, to now going 6-2, and of course a very famous victory over Evil Geniuses, which we're going to talk about in depth in a moment. What has been the reason for this turnaround, in your opinion?
I think that it's our communication that's really improved, and we are playing different champs, and that's how we pull our strategy to a high new level.
Yeah, pretty much what he's saying. I mean, communication was an issue before, especially when we had Kautar, who was Swedish, so we had to talk English, which was an issue for some of the players. And once we switched over to Danish with Bergson, and we got back in shape with Bergson and used to it again, I mean, we've seen some good results, and it definitely helps a lot.
I'm glad you brought up the Bergson issue, because obviously the guy has come in and he's playing really well. I think a lot of people see him as a star player in the team right now, and he's definitely been instrumental in some of your victories. Is that, I mean, does it get annoying when people keep talking about him and he's being talked about as a star player, or are you guys just kind of happy to have him?
I mean, obviously we're very happy to have him, but I wouldn't say it's getting annoying, but we know it, and we know that everybody else knows it. But annoying? A little bit sometimes it can be, especially reading the forums after matches where it's literally Björkson 1 versus 5 the team, and you're sitting, okay, fine, we can say that. But yeah, we know he's a star player, and he deserves the credit he gets.
Did you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty much. He's the star in the team. Everyone says that.
I mean, it's kind of difficult as well. He plays a role within the team where you are going to get a lot of attention anyway. But I think one of the things that most people will have noticed is just how tactically smart you guys are playing now, and the teamwork really shines through, and it gives Bergson a platform on which to shine. So have you guys been working a lot on strategies lately? I mean, that's certainly how it appears.
Just when Bergson got back, he played a different set of champions than he's doing right now. He played more poke-based champions, and now we figured let's just switch it up so he can carry, pretty much. Focusing on Zed or some other champion who can really burst the target and that way single carry team fights, and then we just build a team around with crowd control and or shields and heals to just help him out. So I definitely say us changing up the tactic a little bit to make him make his job easier has definitely helped him, and it shows. I mean, he's doing an amazing job, and yeah, I guess the tactic just works.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about the Evil Geniuses game. Everyone's been talking about it, and you're such a nice, quiet guy. I think hearing it from you would be interesting. Going into that Evil Geniuses game, you'd had some good results, and you started to look good. But this is Evil Geniuses, so were you guys confident of winning? Were you thinking we can do this? Had you made any special plans to beat EG, to make a statement in the league?
Yeah, we knew that EG have a really strong late game comp, and we had to try and win early if that was possible. But we kind of knew that the split push strategy was kind of good against them, and that's how we pull our strategy off, and in the end we won the game.
I mean, was that something? I know that you were doing the split push strategy, and it did seem to work at one point. But then there was kind of a turning point in the game where it looked like it was kind of working against you, and you were shut down from doing it. And it was like, what's going to be the plan B? So what's going through your mind at that point in the game? Are you thinking, shit, we've blown it?
Well, once it kind of stopped working, we were like, fine, we just have to team fight now. And we got so late in the game that everyone has 5 or 6 items. And at that point, it's just a matter of if you make a mistake in a team fight, you will lose it. And lucky for us, EG did make a mistake, and we managed to punish them for something and catch them out. So in the end, it was pretty much just a matter of let's see if we can catch one of them instead of go split push again or something. So it wasn't. I don't think there was any panic or nervous. Like we knew, okay, now it's pretty even. Everybody has like 5-6 items. So yeah, I will panic. I wouldn't say, but I will say when Frog was hitting the Nexus and almost winning, I was a bit like shit.
I mean, if the game had gone the other way and you'd lost, I mean, it's one of those games because you actually were dominant for, I would say, for large periods of that game. You made EG look almost ordinary, and if you'd then gone on to lose that, I mean, it would have been catastrophic for your confidence, surely.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, everybody is losing, and especially when you're actually close to winning against a team like EG, it would be extra sad. But when in-game, you don't really think about that at all. I mean, after the game, yeah, you can think about it, but luckily for us, we didn't have to because we won. But like when you're sitting in-game, you just have complete focus of the game and what's going to happen next, so you don't think about it in there.
Now, EG are a hugely popular team, within a popular organisation. So you're going to have had, I'm guessing, lots of people watching that game. A lot of them EG fans and not Copenhagen Wolves fans. Probably people who don't even know who Copenhagen Wolves are. You're just some other team in LCS and whatever. When you beat them, what was the reception? Like, were people saying how great you guys were? Were people saying you were lucky? Were people being nice? Were people being nasty? What was the feeling?
It was really a great feeling that we bet EG, and they didn't expect us to win because we were kind of the underdogs, but somehow we managed to pull it off, playing really great as a team, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I
mean, did the have you got more fans amongst the community after what happened?
I definitely think so, yeah. We see a lot of Copenhagen Wolves players on Reddit right now, so that's pretty great. And I guess most of the community was like, well played, it was an amazing game, and Copenhagen Wolves are an awesome team. A lot of people have told us like they like both teams, so it's pretty hard for them to cheer for like one another. And then we have there's always a few haters here and there who say, we were just lucky, EG through the game and such, but I think the main community is actually just giving credit for an amazing game, so that's great.
How important was it to start to win games? Because I imagine LCS and being part of LCS is it make or break for the team? If you guys weren't in LCS, would you consider perhaps a different kind of future, a different outcome? You're shaking your head. I'll come to you in a second.
What was the question?
Yeah, so, well, if you weren't in LCS and you hadn't won these games, would LCS be, I'm sorry, the lack of LCS, would that be the end of it for you? Would you maybe stop playing? I mean, there's obviously the element of having a salary and a regular income from playing the game is very important.
Yeah, if we weren't in LCS, I don't think that we will stop playing the game. We will still try qualifier for the next LCS, because it's pretty much everyone's dream to come in LCS, and it's really a great place and great tournament to play in.
So you were shaking your head, so I know you had something to say, so what was that?
Well, lucky for us, we're a pretty young team. I mean, even though I'm 21, I'm actually still one of some of the youngest, like in LCS. There's a lot of people above that. So we knew that if we didn't qualify for like the first half year, there will still be a second half. There's going to be another season, and like when we're such a young team, I mean we have the time ahead of us. So we wasn't going to break up or anything, and we knew there were like tournaments outside of this. So yeah, but being in LCS as such a young team is pretty amazing as well.
So what's it like? Kind of what does the future hold then? Because you've managed to beat one of the biggest teams in the world, one of the most recognisable brands. Copenhagen Wolves were a team, I think, that was seen as one of the smallest kind of fish in that particular sea, if you like. And now you're kind of mid-table. I think you're like 5th. Is that right? And I mean, the only way is up from here, surely. I mean, so what are you guys going to be doing with yourselves?
First of all, we have to handle the pressure now. Like, we're not the underdogs anymore. People actually expect us to do well, also against like Gambit and SK. So we gotta like learn to live with that. That's probably the first thing, because we haven't been used to that in LCS. And then for the future, I mean, once we get our gaming house sorted and we can start practicing properly, I mean, I don't think there's anything that's gonna hold us back. And I definitely think everybody's goal is getting to the World Championships.
Are you worried that with all the roster shuffles that are being talked about at the moment, maybe some of the big teams are going to come calling and talk to guys like yourself, like you, like Bergson, and say, hey, you know, maybe you could help make us stronger for the second half of the season?
I actually don't fear it at all, because I know everybody here on the team is good friends. I mean, we enjoy each other outside of the game as well, and I don't think anyone would want to leave this team. I mean, we're all Danish lineup. It means a lot to us. It's always been like, okay, we have to keep it Danish as much as possible. I mean, unless we had to like bring in Kauta, it was Swedish, because we didn't really have a choice. So I can't see anyone leaving the team at all, not even Björksen. And now that we got the results, I don't see why we would do that. I mean, we already shown we are one of the top teams in Europe. So.
Realistically, do you think? I mean, you've talked about getting to the World Finals, and I mean, let's be honest. Surely that the start of the season, that was not an ambition of yours?
No, definitely not. I was like top 6 and we would be happy. But with the way things are going right now, which is, I mean, we don't actually practice as much as we wanted to right now, and we still get some pretty good results. So I think with the potential on the team, if we actually get some proper practice and maybe get a coach or something to help us out, that we do have the potential to get to the World Championship. Not saying we're going to win it, but qualifying for it would be pretty huge. But yeah, I mean, the future will. I mean, we'll see in the future, obviously, but I think the potential is there.
And I'll just ask you finally. Obviously, we've still got a long way to go in the LCS. Which of the teams? I mean, now that you've beaten EG, what are the teams that you feel you need to beat now to prove a point, to prove that you are a top team? Is there anyone that you would like to particularly beat?
I would like to beat SK, because they have won 3 times against us, and we haven't won against them yet. And we want to prove that we're strong now, and we want to beat them.
And final thing for you, obviously I know you're here doing a lot of promotional work, and you're going to be out of here tomorrow. You're not competing in the tournament, obviously. So is there anyone that you need to give a shout out to, any sponsors, anything you need to say? Because I know you're under tremendous pressure to do so.
Well, of course we want to thank our sponsors, Komplett and Adidas and Steel Series, so that's pretty obvious. And shout out to our fans. We love you guys. I mean, you guys kept us up and we were 0-9, and now we're finally paying back, so that's a great feeling. We love all the feedback we get, and yeah, hopefully there's more in the future. Well,
it's been a pleasure to talk to you guys, and I'm sure you're going to do really well in the LCS. I feel like you have turned a corner, and Björksen is a monster. I hate to underline it, but you guys deserve credit as well, no doubt about that. So thanks for the interview. To all the people out there at cadred.org, do stay tuned to the website. We're going to have more interviews like this one, although perhaps not quite as special, from here at Copenhagen Games 2013.